So I made the video something to kind of explain, I guess, my channel a bit. I don't know how well I did. I made the video something else to kind of explain why there would be a pause in the Coffee Time with Grandma episodes. And now I figured I would do something completely different and maybe make I don't know, a helpful video, maybe. So here's something completely different. Wait a minute. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do when you start up your game is plug your battery into the charger. You'll also want to use the catalog to order the AFR gauge, the air-fuel ratio gauge. They say it's a good idea too to look at your pistons and different parts. The pistons are the only things I can tell if they're bad. Nothing else I can tell really. I mean, maybe the rocker heads, like alternator. I don't know. It looks like an alternator. I don't know. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it almost bad? Also, it's a good idea to get the gasoline out of the corner so you don't forget to fill up the gas can. And then, yeah, pretty much I grab the envelope, start heading down this path straight ahead. You keep following that and you will get to the docks or pier or whatever that is. Just put the envelope in the boat, make sure it doesn't go in the water, enter driving mode, start it up, put it into gear with the gear selector. You can't actually use the buttons for the boat. And then you're going to want to angle yourself straight towards that island, or to the side of the island actually, to the right of the island, straight ahead. Keep going down. It takes a while. I tried to cut out as much as possible while still being able to, you know, you can keep an eye on where you're going, which is straight ahead. There's a dock over there, which is right near the town where Timo's shop is. There's a little building. I think there's like a area for like a play or something. You can always park better than that if you want, or you can park however you want and just keep it that way. But I like to stay close enough so that I can just drop stuff in the boat, you know. Alright, so turn neutral, shut off the engine. Don't forget your envelope. And then you're going to head kind of to the left of this yellow house up here, but to the right of the, I think that's white, or maybe, the other house. You want to stay to the right of that other house over there. And it might rain. But it's summer rain, so it's fine. Alright, and then there's this brick house with a garage, another brick garage. You want to go behind those, through these trees. And then now you can see straight ahead, there's the bus stop. Over past the bus stop is Timo's shop. Make sure you watch for traffic. The yellow box is where you put your envelope and mail your order. You want to make sure you get an alternator belt, 3 brake fluids, coolant, motor oil, 2-stroke fuel, 2 of them, oil filter, spark plugs, 2 car light bulbs, coffee, fuses, and sometimes I get batteries because you can use it for the flashlight, but I didn't this time. I also get a pack of cigarettes, and then 6 sausages, or 1 row of sausages. If you don't want to get cigarettes, that's fine. You can actually reduce your stress with the sauna. I'll have to show how to do that. And then most of the stuff, I just take it, throw it off to the side so I know it's not going to get hit by anybody. That's the coolant, 1 of the 2-stroke fuels, and the motor oil. All goes off to the parking lot, gas station area. I get those the next day. And then I grab 1 of the 2-stroke fuels and my bag of groceries and take them back to the boat. To get back to the boat, you just want to cross the street going past the bus stop. There's the garage and house, and then there's that white or pink house or something. And then you just head back towards the docks. You want to drop your stuff in the boat. Oh, and don't forget, if your thirst is probably going to be getting up now, there is a water spout right outside the yellow house. Now, as a disclaimer, I'm not claiming that this is the best method to start your game. This is just the one that I found to be the most easygoing. Oh, okay. If your boat gets stuck, then you can press, I believe it's J, to push your hands out like that. Crouch down, and you can just push the boat. And then if you can look and see, climb onto boat and press F, I believe, or maybe click. Then it'll just put you right on the boat, so you don't have to try to jump and move it around and push it away from you. Just don't forget to get back into driving mode before you start the engine up and put it into gear. And then this part of my start or whatever, I will go straight to the island now. So at the island, I grab the fish trap and get that set in the water. I set it like right next to the dock. I don't know if that's actually the best place for it or anything, but I heard that like if you do it near your house, it's not as good or something. I also grabbed the wood carrier. There's already one where you go chop wood at by the house. But if you have 2 of them, it makes the wood chopping job a lot easier. So that's I try to make sure I grab that. And then I grab the coffee pot and the coffee cup. There's also, I didn't grab it this time, there's also a camera. There's also a camera that you can get in this cabin in here. And you can use it to take pictures in game, and it'll show up in your pictures folder on your computer. So that's kind of cool. There's also a lantern in there that I didn't grab. I believe I was going to, and that's why I didn't buy the batteries. But I didn't grab it, so I guess I should have bought the batteries. But whatever, not a big deal. So now that I got all my stuff, oh, there's also fireworks. There's a bag of fireworks. It's like an endless bag of fireworks in that place, the cabin. But I didn't grab those either. But I can always grab them some other time. But yeah, so now that I grabbed everything from the cabin, head back to the house. Now, heading back, if you don't really know exactly what you're looking for, it's not the very left tip over there. It's actually this middle area. I've missed it many times. There's a rock that you can see on the right that's kind of poking through the trees. That actually helps, you know, get your position. Or get your bearings, essentially. Okay, so then we stop at the dock. If you put it in neutral, it actually will slow down if that's something you want to do. And then you can shut off the engine. Alright, so wood carrier goes on the dock. Coffee pan goes on the dock. The coffee cup, I don't know if you can actually break it, but if you can, I don't know where to get another one, so I try to be nice and gentle with that. And then grab the shopping bag and run it to the house. You have perishable food in there, or I do. Yeah, I don't know. I put stuff on the car because I'm weird. I also try to make sure you don't bump into the car and run into it and stuff. I haven't had too many problems with it flying anywhere, really. But, you know, it might move or jostle a bit. I gotta get those spark plugs eventually. I kind of dropped them on the ground. You can quickly open a shopping bag by holding F, but it goes everywhere, and then I gotta clean it up. So I just, you know, I just tap it a lot. So also, I try to keep my sausages like together that I bought that day. I had them spoil in the fridge before because it takes so long for me to eat them. Also, I take the fuses and put them over by the fuses. You can see red dots in all the little holes. If there isn't a red dot, then that means the fuse is blown and needs to be replaced. I also put away my coffee, because of course I do. Grab my cigarettes. Oh, don't forget to drink some water. You might be thirsty at this point. And then this is pretty much where I run down to the boat, grab the coffee cup and my coffee pot. Usually I get the coffee pot first so that way I can get the water boiling early, or while I'm running and grabbing the coffee cup. But this case I did not for some reason. Then, you know, you can go ahead and make coffee now because the coffee will sit there and be fine. So you fill up the coffee pot, grab the grounds and pour it in. The grounds will stop on their own when there's enough coffee in there. You want to turn the stove to 6, which is pretty much just 1 to the right. Take the coffee pot, put it on top of the stove, the burner that you turned on, essentially. I also took a real quick shower. So yeah, you don't have to leave the coffee pot uncovered. I just do, just to keep an eye on it being done. I also usually put all the car stuff and the fluids and everything in the garage because I'm gonna need it in there anyways. Also, throw away the oil filter because that thing is just nasty. and that's a burn barrel, but I always move it away from the garage because I don't actually know if it will catch the garage on fire if I have it right next to it and I set it on fire, and I don't really want to find out. So when I was done with that, checked the coffee, it still wasn't boiling. Went ahead and put away the rest of the brake fluid. So looking at it now, it looks like that actually might be brewed, but you know, I just let it sit for good measure, I guess. And then I took the fuel filter and put it where the other one was. And I kind of stared at all the parts. And they figured, well, maybe now the water's done. Now that I was just staring at stuff. The coffee, I mean, not the water. Um, I think so, yeah. Because it's got to boil for a little bit, I think. You don't just want it to... You don't take it off as soon as it boils. Then you drink some coffee. And then after you drink your coffee, then you look at the time and realize that it's almost 9 o'clock at night. And maybe coffee wasn't really the best idea at 9 o'clock. So while you're wide awake now, might as well put the spark plugs away. Finally reach in there, grab it. Oh yeah, and then I find it easier to put the clock gauge in the dashboard instrument panel thing before putting everything together. Because this way you can actually see the bolt so you can screw it in properly. Well, two of the bolts. There's two bolts. You can see both of them. And then, screw them in. And then, like I was saying, I grab all the other stuff, like the alternator belt, and bring it in the garage. I just kind of, go between putting stuff together and moving stuff around, organizing. Usually, I don't put the dashboard in unless I have just saved. But I guess I was feeling squirrely and decided to put the dashboard in now. Everything worked out fine. It's just that if you're not careful, you can break your windshield by putting in your dashboard. I'm pretty sure I've done that at least once. Alright, and these bolts on the dashboard are size 10s. Oh, and I also realized that there's no seatbelt on the passenger side, so isn't that fun? And then next I put in the dashboard meters. When I put the dashboard and the dashboard meters in, I always try to like face down, show proper respects to the car, the Satsuma. The dashboard meters is, I guess, was that size 6? Yes. A size 6. There's two bolts right here. Also, I'm always going to have the caveat that there may be more bolts. I never know. I never looked anything up, really. I mean, I've looked things up as far as like tuning stuff I didn't know. But as far as like putting the car together, I just kind of winged it and figured I'd figure it out. Just quick things to put on. I had the two tail lights. I don't believe those take any bolts. I've never been able to find any bolts for those. And then before you can even put the engine in the car, you need to install the subframe, which is size 10 bolts. There's 4 of them. There's 2 in the front and 2 in the rear, or 2 on the left and 2 on the right. I mean, there's 4. And that sounds like there's more, but there's 4. One's like near the rear. That's not the rear. That's the back side of the engine bay. Those screws are a little hard to find. after putting in the subframe, then it's time to put the engine together. Grab the block, put it upside down. Put the crankshaft in. And the camshaft. The camshaft actually has 2 bolts that are size 5. Just real tiny little guys right there. And then you want to install the main bearings, 1, 2, and 3, over top of the crankshaft to secure it into place. And those are a size 9, I believe. Alright, then you want to turn the engine block to the side, and then stare at the camshaft and wonder how long that's got before it goes bad. And then install the camshaft pulley. That is a size 10, I think. Yeah, it looks like it. And then you want to line up the notch on the wheel with the notch over on the side. You can see they want to be lined up with each other. And then when it is lined up, put the timing chain on, and that will hopefully lock your timing into place. I think my timing chain slipped on one of my cars, but I don't know. Okay, now when you're done with that, you want to put in your pistons 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then rotate the engine block belly up. And then screw in the bolts on the underside. And then go ahead and rotate the engine block again and put the head gasket on. You can tilt it over to the side again to put the timing cover on. And those are size 6 bolts. There's 3 up top, or like around. There's the 4, and then there's a 5, and then maybe 6, right there. If you crouch down, it's a lot easier to see actually all the bolts. You also need to put the clutch together. So you take the clutch pressure plate, put it in the cover plate. Same thing with the clutch disc. You put it in the cover plate. Before you can attach it, you need to attach the engine plate to the engine the other side. On this side, I grabbed the crankshaft pulley and attached that. I don't really have like a method of I do this and then this. I just make sure I build from the inside out, essentially. Next, I build the water pump pulley. I attach it to the water pump. It's a size 7 bolt. I just find it easier just to put them together right there and then just slap the actual together unit on the engine block. It does kind of obscure some of the bolts and nuts, but I mean, if you get in there, you can see all of the little, like that roundness, and these are also size 7, the same that you use to build it together, or to put the two together. And now it's time to attach the flywheel and clutch. Just try not to drop it on the ground, maybe, I guess. I believe these are also size 7. But the clutch cover plate is size 6 bolts. So. Then time to turn the engine block back over again. Now to put the oil pan on. And the oil pan is a size 7? Yeah, those are size 7 too. I believe there's 4 bolts on each side that are size 7. And it's usually a lot easier to at least turn it to the side rather than the method I am employing of just trying to do it through the engine block to the other side. But either way, there's also a size 13 bolt on the top. That's, you know, your drain bolt or whatever. You want to make sure you tighten that in because you don't want to lose all your oil when you try to fill it up. Next, we'll be installing the gearbox. That's a 11? No, a 10? That's a 10. So this is usually how it goes. That's why there's all these cuts, because I never actually remember. Really, not yet. And then don't forget the inspection plate. And then these bolts are size 7. The size 10 bolt, I think that's where the half shafts go. Yeah, but so screw all these in. I think there's 3 on each side. And then grab the drive gear and install that. I think that's like a size 6. Okay. Getting pretty late, time for bed. My advice when going to bed is to leave the garage light on, go inside the house, turn on the hallway light, and then go back to the garage to turn off the garage light. So then you can go back to the house and you can see with the light. Don't forget to unplug the telephone before you go to bed, unless you want to get woken up. You're not really in a position to even be able to give the guy a ride home. But yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful. I don't know.